And this is Margaret.
And we're the Cousins Weird. And you can tell we're together because we said it at the same time.
Yes. And we're all recovering. And I would like to say it was because I drank too much. And it's just because I'm old and I stayed up late and I was yelling.
I drank too much last night. We went to a Valentine's Day themed drag show and it was so fun.
So much fun.
We had so much fun.
But this morning I wake up and I don't feel fun.
No,
I don't. A wicked headache.
I feel old this morning.
And I'm like, those dang kids and their loud music.
I was like, last night I was fun and young. This morning I'm old and decrepit. I had
Colleen
4 drinks.
Had 4 drinks. She drank like she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, and I didn't. I like to pretend that I can do that still. I can't. But I'm feeling okay now. I hydrated. I took some naproxen. Life got better after that. So I'm okay right now. But still not, not quite up to par.
10 to 15 French fries last night. And that's probably why I feel like shit. Because I haven't been eating salt.
Right. And
that was salty and delicious. They were so good. Oh my God.
So happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day!
When you hear this, it will be Valentine's Day, and we wanted to do a fun episode for you for Valentine's Day. And when I think Valentine's Day, I think love, passion, stuff like that.
I think Liz Phair's song Supernova, because of that line in it, that makes me giggle every time. Your lips are sweet and slippery like a cherub's bare red ass.
Okay.
That's a good song. She's awesome.
That is a good song.
I love her. She's like my favorite singer.
So we wanted to do an episode for Valentine's Day, but we were like, what could we tie into Valentine's Day? I guess we could have done some cliche, like the Valentine's Day massacre kind of thing. We could have done it. But we didn't. We went different. And we got to interview a real life paranormal investigator, which is very cool. And because I think they love paranormal stuff, they have a passion for it. And you will see like the amount of equipment involved.
I know. It's staggering. It's
staggering. And the commitment to doing it is like a relationship. And they love it. So it's kind of better relationship, really, if you think about it. It's like a passion of theirs that they get to do together. It's a husband and wife team. So we thought this is a great Valentine's episode to talk about this paranormal investigators and their love of the paranormal. So that's why it's called The Love of Ghosts.
Yes, and they're not even in our state. They're down in Kentucky.
They live in Kentucky.
We Zoomed with them.
We did. My Zoom didn't work well, but because I recorded it for like note taking because they weren't really ready to go on the pod themselves, but they said they want to next time we do something.
So we'll do something.
But I wanted to interview. They were so excited about doing it. The name of this paranormal investigators is called the Departed Souls Paranormal, and they're out of Burlington, Kentucky. It's Kelly and Matt Carter. They're a husband and wife paranormal investigative team. Yeah,
they're adorable.
They were very sweet. We really enjoyed talking to them. We have a friend, Mike, who lives down in Kentucky, and he's their friends, and he kind of hooked us up with them. It was like, you guys should totally talk, because it's right up your alley, and kind of goes with your podcast. And...
Our friend Mike used to live up here, and he was in a metal band called Pagan Holiday, that back when we were...
He's still in the
same
band. Yes,
they still are, but they're just not here.
They're just not here anymore.
But back in our youth, we were groupies.
We were the OGs.
We were the OG girls, the pagan girls. We went to like
every show.
We went to their shows. We went everywhere with them. We had so much fun.
Yeah.
We were their buddies. Like, we were schlepping them around because half of them didn't have cars. But I say we when I didn't have a license.
I was say you weren't driving them either.
I considered Colleen schlepped me around, and I was just part of the package. So I say we, I meant Colleen. Because she was the one with the license in the car. Colleen had a sweet car back then.
I did have it was 1975 Chevy Nova. It was cherry red.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
The most beautiful car ever. It was
the best.
That's a car that every other car can't measure up to that car.
No.
It wasn't even my car, but it felt like mine.
It had original leather seats. Like the back bench was beautiful. Like the back seat, I would wipe that thing down. People would slide right across it. Get right in.
That was a gorgeous car.
We had a lot of fun in that car.
Colleen's first car was like...
I ran into a bunch of stuff with it, too, but that's besides the point.
It was beautiful.
Anyway, not to get off track.
You talk about trying to sneak in your house after curfew, turn the lights off, and she ends up clipping her dad's plow with a car, and we had to wake him up anyway.
I know. I came in past curfew. They were sleeping.
Oh, man.
I hit my dad's plow coming in, trying to be sneaky, which I can't believe the sound of that didn't wake him up, because it was like... And then I came in, and I'm like, okay, they knew I went to a party, and I'm coming home late. I have to wake them up to show him I'm not drunk. Like, that was my goal. Like, show him you are fully sober.
Because we were.
Because I thought for sure he wasn't going to believe me that I was that stupid. I was hoping he thought I was smarter than that. So I was, but I woke him up. I probably should have let him sleep, because waking him up maybe made him angry. And rightfully so. But I got to show him, see, I'm not drunk.
As angry as your dad ever was.
I know my dad
really
doesn't get really that angry. No. He just gets like kind of quiet and kind of, you feel the disappointment. You would feel the disappointment. That's all it was. He never really yelled. No, my dad would just like, you could feel it. You knew he wasn't happy.
Well, because your dad smiles like 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So there was no smile. Smiling, you're like, oh God.
Oh God, he's mad. And you like, because my dad's so cool, like I never wanted to disappoint him. Ever, ever, ever. That's why I was so well behaved.
You were, yeah.
I was really good, because
on the surface,
my parents were really cool about a lot of stuff on the surface. Well, all they knew.
As far as they knew, you were
but
perfect.
I just never wanted to disappoint them, because they were just cool stuff. So I didn't ever want to. And my brothers were bad. So really, anything I did was, if it was less than that, I was good, golden. So they kind of paved that way, like Colleen can only look good in comparison.
Yes, the bar was not very high.
No, not with them. They were much older than me, and they were wild. So.
And it was the 70s and the 80s.
It was the 80s, where they were living their best lives in the 80s, let me tell you. They did more things than I ever was allowed to do. They probably weren't allowed to either, but I didn't
They just did it anyway.
Yeah, they did it anyway.
Okay,
wow, we got off. Okay, we're going back. So, Departed Souls Paranormal from Burlington, Kentucky. Husband-wife team. Very cool. We asked them, like, what made you want to do this? Because when you hear amount of stuff that is involved in doing these paranormal investigator stuff, like, it's intense.
Yeah.
And it takes dedication and really to want to do it. And Matt, he said that his whole life he was really interested in it, and paranormal stuff was always fascinating to him. He loved watching those shows, even when he was a kid. Like, he just really liked that supernatural kind of thing. But he never personally has experienced it, so he didn't have that connection. It was just more of an interest and intrigue. And I think we were like that too, like growing up. We loved anything spooky, and I totally get that.
I get it too.
And Kelly, who she says that she's like an empath, she has like, she's very sensitive to like, she can feel things when she goes to places. Maybe not necessarily can tell what something happened, but knows the feeling that's there. She could feel it when she walks into places. And she did say that she had experienced things in her past that were unexplainable. But the big thing, after her mother had passed away, like 3 years later or something happened. And we can't really talk about it because it's kind of cool. They're going to be on a TV show. Oh, shoot. I can't remember the name. They're on a paranormal. They're going to be on a paranormal thing about the experience she had. And she believes it was her mother. That we can't talk about because the episode hasn't aired yet. But when it does, we'll share it. Cause that's really cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah, it was very, very cool what happened. And it's definitely was something paranormal that happened. Because I'm not going to tell you what it is because you can watch the episode and we'll let you know when that airs. But
we'll put a link. We'll ask them again and we'll put a link to it in our link.
Yeah. So after this event happened, it happened to both of them. And they caught it on video. So that really like pushed them to like want to do this. Like they were like, we've always thought about this. We need to do this. And she was like gung ho after that because she wanted to be able to like have other people get answers like she wanted. So
right.
I thought that was
They don't
cool.
charge people either when they go places. They don't charge people. So like when
they
go places,
they don't
get any money for it.
No. They've done personal people's homes who've had issues that wanted answers and stuff, and they don't charge, which I think is really cool. They're not out there to try to get anything from anyone. They just want to help people. So they're cool people. I like them.
Yeah, I like talking to them. It was interesting.
Yeah. So they've investigated some, and we're not going to talk about really the personal stuff because I don't think it's right to share people's personal stories when they're not our own, unless they say we can. But like we're going to talk about the like famous places they've been to and done investigations a little bit about that stuff. They investigated the Poasttown Elementary school that's in Middleton, Ohio. They've been in the Ross. Is it It's ROHS Opera House. Ross Opera House. I think it's how you say it. Ross, probably. It's in Cynthiana, Kentucky. The Sorrel Weed House in Savannah, Georgia. I think I wrote that correctly. I feel like that's not right, but I think that's right. You know me. Once I write it on paper, I can't read my own handwriting. And then the Abner Gain Tavern in Walton, Kentucky. Those are like the big places that they've been to. And they did a thing in Florida, too.
And some of them they've been to multiple times.
Yes. And I'm going to really hit on the ones that they have had the most stuff that they've captured. Because they said they've done them on several different occasions and different times have gone back because they're so active and they've gotten some really cool stuff there. And during their investigations, they've caught video and audio of paranormal activity. So they basically are proving that there is paranormal things happening in these places. Because that was the one question. Have you ever caught stuff? Like, you know.
We'll share them with you.
Yeah.
These videos made my hair stand up.
Yes.
So they're like creepy, like to see. It's like, what? What was that? That did not just happen.
I know.
It was really like.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm going to run down the equipment they use because I didn't know half this stuff. I didn't know what half this stuff was. Because I'm just not, I've watched those shows and like think that stuff's cool, but I never really have understood what they're using. So one thing is called a digital voice recorder, which I think is kind of obvious.
It's a DVR.
Yeah. And then there's a Mel meter, which is a digital readout of EMF built with ambient temps. It can record ambient temps. So it record changes in the room. It fluctuates in the electromagnetic field. So it's like paranormal stuff is when it's appearing, it puts off these electromagnetic field stuff and changes of temperature in a room. Which when I read about what a Mel meter was, I actually found out the history, why it was created. And I think this is really cool. My voice is weird because of yelling so much last night at the drag show.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
So it's named after, her name was Melissa. It was the man invented this. It was her father after she had passed away. She was young and she was like a teen and her car hit a tree and she passed away, which is very sad. The family started experiencing some paranormal activity after that. After death communication is what the people in the biz call it.
The biz.
And her family actually had seen like her sister and her brother-in-law saw like full body apparitions of her after she died. And he wanted to be able to capture some stuff. He saw some things on like ghost shows where they were using stuff that maybe electricians used. He wanted to do something that was more specific to that capturing paranormal. So he invented this Mel meter, which can read the temp in the room. It can read the electromagnetic fields, which is EMFs. And the crazy thing about this, which I thought I had to talk about it, was that her birthday is Valentine's Day.
Crazy.
Right?
Oh my God.
And our episode's airing on Valentine's. It's a Valentine's special. Her birthday is Valentine's Day. Every year for her birthday, they always did a heart cake, and they still do to this day, even though she's passed. And they said that they get their best readings that day on her birthday. Her presence is really, really there. And they've even captured her on other, like probably Spirit Box or something, which I'll talk about, saying, "I love you, Daddy."